and it's time for Bet On It. Brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook, the best place in Nebraska to place your sports bets. Go to warhorsecasino.com or download the app for all the promotions and house rules. What's up?
Kobe, he's killing me.
What Kobe do? Kobe. What's up?
Kobe. It's a goat name, though, so he thinks Nebraska finishes lower. That would be extremely disappointing.
It would be.
But I've walked through the scenarios off air. You're kind of vibing with me now. I don't think they can get any higher than 7.
Correct.
I don't think. I mean,
because they can catch Illinois. It'd be tough to catch Maryland.
Now, the team that we're missing that could maybe hit that could maybe run into a rough patch is UCLA.
Oh, you're always hating on my fighting
I'm
Mick
not.
Cronin's.
I'm not.
You're hating on them.
Not at all.
Hating on the fighting Mick Cronin's.
I just,
who for all the consternation also didn't lose 6 in a row, but whatever.
So the schedule isn't daunting. They're at Illinois.
For UCLA?
Yep.
At Illinois, at Indiana.
Yep. Then they get Minnesota at the house.
At Purdue, at Northwestern.
Yep.
And then USC at home.
So
it's not daunting.
No, but
they're favored to win.
But I could see them dropping 2 games.
Yeah, that's what they're scheduled to drop 2.
Okay.
According to Ken Palm.
Okay.
That they'll drop 2.
And Nebraska's from here on out are toss-ups, virtually, right?
The next 4 are hard toss-ups. Like they are
within 1 to 3 points.
1 point each.
Yuck.
The next 4 are 74-73, 70-69, 76-75, 75-74, according to one Kenneth Pomeroy. So 1 point each for the next 4. Then there's their favorite.
The trickiest one in that one for me is Northwestern.
Not Maryland?
No, the trickiest one to decide.
Oh.
I think most people will concede Maryland.
Gotcha. Okay.
Even though I don't think they should.
Shouldn't concede it, but that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Because Nebraska played them well for 35 minutes out of the 40, and it wasn't the last 5. It was Nebraska had an early stretch at about the 12-minute mark where I was going ballistic because they wouldn't guard Jacoby Gillespie. Remember, he's hitting the threes, and I was like, I'm telling you, this guy is good.
He can get a bucket.
And, I didn't love the tail, that stretch wasn't the tail end from about 10 to 7 minutes in the second half. And then they kind of battled back and ooh, we got one. And then Maryland did their thing at the end. But, Queen is a nightmare.
Yeah.
You watch him the other night against Rutgers. He was sensational. And Rutgers gave them everything they had. I was so mad at Ace Bailey because and I tell this to our guys, don't be the guy that this is such a stupid DB thing. So I'm just weird like that. If you can't play, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or try to be as normal as you can if you're with us. The whole towel thing and head down, man, if you're that, go to the locker room, bro.
Don't be a baby around other people.
Yeah.
You're doing too much.
That's what I kept saying. Stop panning the camera on it.
Yeah.
Stop panning the camera.
Did you get the sense? Okay. Because I'm this way sometimes, and maybe it's because I'm a jerk, but it's hard to tell.
I just kind of admitted I was. I just didn't use the J word.
I have a hard time sometimes when guys are doing that because I go, are they doing this for the show? Are they doing this because they know the camera's going to pan on them? That's the sense I got with Bailey. Was he was doing it because he knew people were watching. Is he going to act that way?
You got 50 scouts in the building.
Is he acting that? Is he going to
That
act?
game was star-studded. It was Bailey. It was Harp. It was Queen.
I'm a big Harper guy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, though, he doesn't shoot it well enough. I'm surprised you like him
as
much as you do.
He's so smooth.
Yeah, he's Malanta.
He's so smooth.
Smooth as Malanta.
So Nebraska, here's the one I'm worried about a little bit with Nebraska. Obviously, so they're favored. One of the games they're favored the most at. Obviously, you got Minnesota that they're highly favored at, and then Iowa to end the season. I don't know what to do with
That's
Iowa.
at the house, though.
It is, but I don't know what to do with it the way the last one played out. I don't feel great with that being the last time I saw Nebraska and Iowa play because they gave up 2 separate 30 burgers to 2 separate guys in each half. I don't feel good about that. That doesn't make me feel good about Nebraska, Iowa, and they're pretty heavily favored. They're an 8-point favorite, according to Ken Palm, this far out. I don't feel great there.
I know.
So there's a couple in there that they are favored to win that I'm a little iffy on.
Shafe said something, and outside of Pop Isaacs, and Omaha's been relatively unscathed. Nebraska's injury situation has been pretty fortuitous.
It has. I don't think you can downplay the Pop Isaacs injury. Like, he was supposed to be a critical part of that team. Like, that's a big injury.
I know.
Like, that's a big injury.
I'm not. I certainly not.
You know, so while they haven't had a ton of them, that's a significant one. Berke is a tough break for Nebraska right now.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Because people say that. And I used to be the king of this, and I don't want to dominate this segment before we get to any picks.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, oh, can you imagine if? Well, part of Ashworth's freedom to do what he does and his impact is because Pops isn't playing.
100%. That's accurate.
So
he was forced to do something more because there was no Pops. That's accurate. You could make the argument for Jemiah too.
Right. You don't get that life with Pops in it.
Yeah, you don't get this version of Jemiah or Ashworth probably with Pops in the lineup.
I'm very cognizant.
Now the question is that better or worse than what we have now? That's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Because we saw a really good version of that team with Pops against Kansas, right?
Although this Creighton team,
they're rolling
outside of the fortunate bank shot, which I still believe if you do enough right things, I don't really care that it hit the glass. I think it's a non-factor.
Sure.
I think
great play drawn up, wide open shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that's
it's okay to get lucky sometimes.
Yep. They're
playing really well.
They're playing well.
They really are. You're getting a lot of guys playing well.
Like Marquette, it was like, are they ever going to be able to get I don't think they can get a significant enough stop.
Marquette?
They pulled away from Providence. They had the barrage of threes against, was it Nova or Xavier, where like 4 of the last 5 shots were threes. Their ability to close
has been really good.
It's been great.
Yeah. Because that Providence game was a fist fight. And
it was 53-49 or something like that. And then it was like, up.
Well, even into the mid to high 60s, it was still back and forth, back and forth.
It was 63-59. I'm tripping.
And then all of a sudden, Creighton just goes, boom, 81-69. This game's over. Done. Like, so they're playing really well. I'm not discounting that at all. And you're right. They're not – the guys that we're seeing thrive right now don't have the same opportunities if Pop Isaacs is healthy. I don't know if that's better or worse. It just is, right?
Like Ashworth clearly has no conscience. He's
hitting that night celly on people.
Yeah. Doing a little too much, but I'm like, come on, DB, lighten up.
He's feeling himself. I'm okay with it.
Let that dude walk across your grass.
Yeah.
You know.
You don't need to go all Gran Torino on him. Get off my lawn.
Leave tracks. But he quietly runs it.
He does.
He's one of those dudes that will run by, whisper in your ear.
And Creighton,
boom to tap you and be like something.
Creighton needed a guy like that after Baylor left. They needed somebody with a little attitude. I would not have bet on Ashworth last year.
Dude, they're playing.
Maybe it's the sleep deprivation from being a dad that's made him a little edgy.
Yeah, I mean, my man is parenting. And shout out his wife and family, extended family, for shouldering the load.
Yeah, for hanging in there.
Man.
That's I appreciate the how hard
that is?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Touche.
Intentionally, I do not.
No. The frick you talking to, DB? Do I look like I know? No, I get it.
Thank God. I did just want to circle back. I know you got some picks today.
I got a couple.
Okay, what do we got?
I like Michigan today.
Like Michigan today?
I like laying 1.5. 1 in the hook. I think it'll be. You like that?
I don't know what that was supposed to be. I was not a fan.
It was 1.5. Hey man, you know what?
You like Michigan minus 1.5 against Purdue?
Yep, hosting your Boilermakers. And you know what? I'll be curious to see what happens with this line because it's pretty saucy. But I like Auburn laying the 8.5.
You like Auburn laying the 8.5?
Yep.
Against Vandy?
Yeah. And that's my.
You do like Vandy. You like Vandy.
2 teams
You're pretty spicy on Vandy.
2 teams I'm very, very familiar with.
All right. So then you got Auburn minus 8.5, and you've got Michigan minus 1.5. Just real quick here, since we don't have any time for people to argue with me about it, I just want to say John Elway doesn't even hold up in his era. You want to know some guys that have better completion percentages and yards per game than Elway?
I should give my man
in the 80s. Boomer Esiason, Warren Moon, Lynn Dickey, Ken O'Brien. Lynn Dickey, is he on the We're Making Hall of Fame with Lynn Dickey? We cool? No?
He had Loft in the throw too. Why not?
I'll do the 90s later.
And Sharp too for a second.